also depends on your skin condition or your skin type. If you're an oily skin, there's specific
Mm,
oils that you can add to the serum to support the oily skin. Aging skin needs hydration. So I use a different base oil. Like you can use coconut oil, fractionated coconut
mhm.
oil, not regular coconut oil, because the regular coconut cooking oil, that
Yeah,
hardens, when it gets
yeah,
cold, it hardens.
yeah.
And it's actually to apply to your skin because when that hardens, it clogs your pores.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, most people don't think about that. But there's a fractionated coconut oil which has the compound removed from hardening. And
Okay.
then those molecules are really small and they're really good for summertime because our skin needs less moisture in the summer than it does in the winter.
Right.
So for the winter, like for the magic serum, I use a jojoba oil base, which is
Mm-hmm.
much more nourishing and more hydrating and has a heavier
Mm-hmm.
feel, but it's great for anti-aging. It's very supportive of anti-aging skin.
Hi, my name is Luella Yonk. I'm a psychotherapist and coach. And if you're interested in how your lifestyle is affecting your mental health, then you're at the right place. On this show, I interview various guests from across the miles and share how their lifestyle choices affects their sense of self, their wealth, and most importantly, their health. Enjoy the show. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to I Think I Can. So today we have a repeat offender. Her name is Shirley Hiiman, and Shirley is all about, well, I was going to say essential oils. She's more than just someone who's very well versed on essential oils and all the benefits that many of us are not aware of. She does other things as well, but I'm going to let Shirley introduce herself and tell us more about what else she does. So go ahead, Shirley. Welcome.
So thank you. Thank you, Luella, for having me back. I'm so happy to be here.
Mm.
My name is Shirley Hiiman. I live in New York. I'm a mom of three daughters, and I mentor and coach women to happy, healthy living with self-mastery for self-love and communication healing.
Mm.
And of course, in that world, the oils are always my players, big players in that game.
Mm. Wonderful. Tell us how, well, I mean, I think I remember the story last time you kind of stumbled upon this, right? Like you used essential oils and you realized like, wow. Is that correct?
It is. I was always looking for natural solutions.
Yeah.
And then so when I was introduced to this company and then I started using the oils and I started feeling the benefits, I was like, wow, this is a whole new world I didn't know existed.
Hmm.
And the rest is history. It's been actually March will be 7 years since I started using them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's been
Oh,
life-changing.
okay, so where do you want to begin in terms of educating us and what like let us know what we're missing out by not
Yeah.
using
So
because
most people, when they think of essential oils, they're thinking of a good smell,
Mhm.
something they can diffuse or use a burner to put in the bedroom or in the living room and to help, with the environment. But that's just a drop in the ocean of how potent and powerful oils, essential oils, and they must be pure. I really have to reiterate that because the world of essential oils is not regulated by anyone. So anybody can just, create a bottle, make it look beautiful, put it on the shelves and sell it to you, but you don't really know if you're getting a pure product. So to get the results I'm describing and that I experience, the oils must be pure. So I'll give you an example. Most people don't think that the oils can actually help you feel better,
Mm.
whether it's mentally, emotionally, physically. Just recently, right before Christmas, my girls have a winter break and we had a family trip planned to go to Colorado to go skiing. And I got sick. And the day before I was supposed to fly, and I know we needed to get on a call.
Mhm.
And like every time I would open my mouth, just coughing would come out. I couldn't move. I was tired and I was so upset and I felt so sorry for myself that I couldn't go with the rest of the family. But this is what was happening in my world at that moment. And I really was happy in a way that I knew that I have oils that I can use, whether it's to lower my fever. I would use peppermint oil because it's cooling, or to support my immune system, or to help my sinuses. I would use tea tree because it helps unclog. And just using all these amazing oils, and you can create these blends and not use just one oil. And when they work together, they're so powerful because what happens is they're absorbed into our cells inside our body. And they're not water-based. It's oil and oil because, our cells in our body have a membrane that's oily.
Mhm.
So the cells have a hard time absorbing anything that's water-based. Oil-based and oil mix very well together. So then let's say I'm using my essential oil of tea tree for my sinuses, but my skin's absorbing it, it's going inside my bloodstream and into my cells. So now whatever benefits the tea tree has for my sinuses, now all my cells are getting it and delivering it to everywhere internally inside my body systems, wherever support is needed without me having to even think about it. And that's so powerful because you don't feel helpless. I mean, when you're not feeling well, you're not feeling well, and you
Mm.
want to feel better as soon as possible, right? We always wishing everybody a speedy recovery. Well, oils help the body speed up the healing process because we naturally heal ourselves.
Mhm.
You cut your finger, you put a band-aid, a week later,
Mhm.
that's getting better. So, but if you introduce like a frankincense and such an oil on that cut, it speeds up the healing process. So instead of having to wait a week for the healing, you're getting it within 3 days, 4 days. I mean, obviously, depending on the cut, depending how deep it is, but it just helps to speed up the process. And frankincense also speeds up cell reproduction,
Mhm.
which helps with our skin, obviously, which obviously helps internally. It's great support for our brain and for our bones. And it's just so deep of these benefits from nature that God has given to us. And this company, is able to extract them from all over the world. So you're not getting it from one specific place. You're getting it from a place where the environment is the best
Mhm.
environment for that specific plant or that specific tree or that specific
Mhm.
flower. And
Mhm.
then it's picked at the right peak time where it has the most um, benefits, healing benefits.
Mhm.
And so that's preserved, and then it's put in a little bottle, and then we're able to use it. So another way I use the essential oil is um, there's this blend I love. I love. It's called On Guard, and it's like the bodyguard of our immune system. It has clove in it. It has wild orange. It smells kind of like Christmas when you diffuse it in the air, and that helps support. Cinnamon is a hot oil, helps support the immune system. So like I'm using, that to help my immune system. I'm using peppermint besides cooling my body. I'm like sniffing the bottle so it opens up my sinuses. At least I can breathe while I'm sick and I'm laying
Mhm.
down. You know how you get stuffy and you're like, it's not good to breathe from your mouth because of the bacteria that comes in. So
Right.
it's like one thing leads to another that leads to another. And this is the reverse. It's healing another thing and another thing that helps the body feel
Mm.
better. And it helps with your mind too, because you know that you have an answer. You have a way
Yeah.
to take care of yourself. And for me as a mom, it's so empowering because I
Yeah.
know that I can take these oils, I take them everywhere I go. They're part of my daily life without even having to think about it. You know that serum that I shared with you? So
Yeah.
like I make a really big portion for myself at home with a pump and like I'll use that for my body instead of lotion. So those oils are in
Mm.
that body oil. I'm applying
Mm.
it to my skin and I don't have to
Mhm.
think about it because now my skin's absorbing all those oils I chose to mix together. And
Mhm.
it's like a no-brainer. It's like becomes part of my habits already
So
that I don't think about.
the one that I used, like the one that's for I use for my face, the magic serum, that you
You
use
can
it
use
all
it
over
for your
your,
hand. You
yeah.
can use it for your dry feet and your dry heels.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
can use it on your elbows. I mean, you can use it everywhere, but
Right.
it's not such a huge portion for the body.
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is what I create. My middle daughter, she used to suffer from eczema since she was born. She
Mhm.
went to the dermatologist. She went through different treatments, all these creams and ointments, but nothing healed the body. It's just
Yeah.
like asking things, and sometimes you don't even get any healing. And then you have to go for another try and another cream, and meanwhile you're
Yeah.
suffering. Your little girl, she's suffering, she's itching, she's scratching. And slowly, slowly, obviously, you have to remove the toxins from your body, from your
Yeah.
environment, which include laundry detergent and things like that. And then
Mm-hmm.
you're introducing the essential oils, which are so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
I started with her with lavender, and we saw results right away. I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
redness was healing really quickly. Um, and now I made her also a lotion for her body, an oil for her body. So it's even preventing from things occurring. So it's
Mm-hmm.
also preventative. It could
Yeah.
prevent dry skin, you can prevent your skin from flaking. If you're applying it on a regular basis, your heels don't have to be as dry.
Right. Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm all about preventative everything, preventative mental health, preventative, physical health, like preventative medicine with the functional medicine work I do. So I never really thought of it like that before. So, for example, like I have a couple questions. I want to go back to how you sort of helped yourself through that sickness, but also with your daughter. I mean, in terms of removing toxins, environmental toxins, but you also, I'm guessing there were some foods that were contributing to her eczema as well.
So in her case, she's a picky eater,
Yeah.
considers, but she really doesn't eat dairy or any of those things.
Okay.
So we didn't need to get to that level, but
Okay.
that would
Okay.
have been the next step had the
Step.
healing. Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah,
Oh,
because dairy is the sugars,
yeah.
processed foods, which are no longer part of my household. So yeah,
Yeah.
it,
No. Okay. Wonderful.
sure.
And then like, did you need to take like medication like anti-inflammatory medication like ibuprofen or like I mean sometimes we need like I mean the headache's so bad or we're craving sleep so much. I mean, did you have to use anything else, but you didn't have to use it as long or,
When I was sick,
yeah.
the answer is no.
Oh,
Okay. So my husband takes Tylenol.
yeah,
I do not take those
yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
As a child, I used to suffer from migraines. And I
Okay.
remember being like taken in the middle of the night to the hospital because it would get too much. And I would have to go under the covers and close the lights and not be able to hear any sounds. It was horrible.
Horrible.
Um, there are root causes to headaches.
Yeah.
Okay. And the most basic thing that a lot of people lose track of is that if you're not sleeping enough and you're not hydrating your body enough, that leads to headaches.
Hmm.
Okay. And if you didn't drink enough or sleep enough the night before and you're waking up with a headache, you must hydrate yourself. And another thing that's important to know is that, there's certain things that help our body absorb the liquid that we place inside of
Hmm.
it,
Hmm.
which is a salt. Okay.
Hmm.
So if we are to take a little bit of salt before we drink our water,
Hmm.
our body, and it's not just any salt, okay, it needs to be a Celtic salt, okay?
Hmm.
Um, that helps our body absorb the water we're drinking in so it can get placed to all the organs. Remember, we spoke about the fact that the body has a hard time absorbing anything that's water-based
Yeah.
because water and oil, they have a hard time mixing together.
Hmm.
It's like when you make a salad dressing. If you're
Hmm.
not taking that bottle really, really well,
Hmm.
they're not going to mix. And once you stop, they separate.
Hmm.
So the salt helps the body absorb the liquid into our organs, and so then you're really getting the hydration.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then another thing that leads to headache is jaw tension.
Mm.
A lot of people clench their jaws or clench their teeth, and there's tension, there's muscles right here that, being a licensed esthetician,
Hmm.
it's something that I've had experience with. So you get really, really tight here, which pulls, and there's muscles here. This is the temporalis. These are
Yeah.
muscles, and they're like a fan. So imagine there's like all this tightness in
Hmm.
our head, and you can do a head massage. I teach women how to release tension,
Yeah.
how to wear their temples, so when I was having my sinuses were clogged, so I was massaging my, My
Mm-hmm.
sinus is here. And sometimes when you go like right in here where your brows are and you touch it, you feel soreness, you feel tightness because there's muscles here that are
Mm-hmm.
pulling. And these muscles they run up to our scalp.
Mm-hmm.
So you can easily release, a tension headache if you just give yourself a little bit of attention, a little bit of love. Our forehead, one of the reasons we have those wrinkles on our
Wrinkles.
forehead is because of the tightness that we have around
Mm-hmm.
our head, because we're always thinking, we're using the phone, we're
Yeah.
focusing on the computer, our eyes are like focusing, and as we're getting older, this is
Mm-hmm.
squinting. So it's all related. So when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to migraines and headaches, there's a reason they're there and there's ways to release them without. And so when I've learned that, for me, the last time I took a Tylenol, my body rejected it. It
Mm.
came right up, and
Wow.
it didn't feel good for me. And I choose not to use it just again because of I have other tools that I can help myself and get the relief that I'm looking for
Mm.
that exact moment. Even when I really had no energy. I was really not feeling well. So what I did was I took my knuckle and I had so much tension here, and I knew that I need to release this tension. Also, our brow
Mm-hmm.
bone, we get a lot of tension in here.
Yeah.
So, if you find a facialist that can, release, do a really deep,
Mm.
deep tissue facial massage,
Mm-hmm.
you just feel it all melting away. And then like it
Mm-hmm.
helped me clear my sinuses. I was able to clear. I was also using some Breathe, which is a blend of oils on my lungs, my
Mm-hmm.
chest, and I put it on the back of my lungs and like
Mm-hmm.
the body. And because there was a lot of phlegm and you
Mm-hmm.
know mucus that needed to come out, a lot of the times, we don't understand like the fact that we're coughing, it's a good thing because that means
Yes.
our body is cleaning itself out.
Yeah.
So this helps the body clean itself out even faster, so I'm not feeling as congested for such a long period of time. And plus, I know, like I see my body reacting to the oils, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, great, this is working. Like it's coughing, it's helping me cough it out
Mm-hmm.
faster, at a faster rate. I don't have to wait 5 days
Yeah.
for the body to do it on its own.
Yeah.
And I had a hard time sleeping, so I used lavender. I put it on the bottom of my feet, on my spine. When you put it
Mm.
on the spine, it helps calm the nervous system,
How do you
which
put
is
it on your spine when you're
you
by
do a
yourself?
roller.
Oh,
You create a roller, and you
oh,
just here. I mean, as much as you can. And
yeah,
if you have someone
yeah,
next to you, you ask them to do it completely. You could do it on the back of the neck,
yeah,
and that's absorbed.
yeah,
And even if I just put it like halfway through, like I
yeah,
said, cells are gonna, they're gonna absorb it and it's gonna travel where it needs to travel.
yeah. And
Actually, I have an amazing story about the lavender. I have a very like tense friend, she's very like
mm,
high energy, but very tense. She doesn't share a lot of her feelings. And
right.
I sent her a lavender and I'm like, listen,
Just pure lavender.
pure lavender
Okay.
from doTERRA.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. The only company that I specifically trust. There could
Mm,
be other companies out there, but I know that they're pure and I trust
yep.
them to take them internally, to use them on my children and to use them on babies,
Yeah.
elderly. So I sent it to her and I said, listen, like, and she's been telling me, she's like, listen, I've been so constipated. Like I haven't been able to like release anything from my body. I said, okay, take the lavender. And if you don't mind the flavor of the lavender,
Mm,
put one drop on your thumb and then just put it directly to the roof of your mouth. When you do that, the oil you're using at the roof of your mouth, you're delivering it directly to your brain
mm,
because it's right here. It goes right through your
yeah.
glands and it goes right into your brain. Okay. Frankincense is one of those oils like you can do that on a regular basis as support for your brain, for your bones, for your body, for
Mm,
like I can have a whole podcast just talking about the qualities of frankincense. They're amazing. So
mm.
she does it. She calls me 10 minutes later. She's like, what is this? What happened? I'm like, what happened? She goes, you don't understand. Like, I did it. And like 5 minutes later, I ran to the restroom. And like so much release came out of me. And like and the following morning, she's like, I haven't slept this good in so long. I can't even explain it.
With one drop of lavender to the
One
roof of her.
drop of lavender to the roof of her mouth. The oils are powerful. You don't need to use a lot in order to get the benefits of it. And it's just the stories are never ending of people feeling
See,
the effect.
I was going to ask you about that. Like when you said you put it on the bottom of your feet, it's not like you're shaking like I mean the essential oils it from in I mean I just picked up what I thought and it says it's pure. I'm not going to say the company right now, but the way they have it is you unscrew a cap and it's sort of like, the drop. It's not what do you call it? It's
It's
not
not like like not a dripper, it's like a
yeah,
dropper.
exactly. So
Yeah.
it's like you're not shaking that and getting like two or three drops or four or five right on the bottom of your feet. Is
Yeah.
it just one?
So normally how you would apply the oils, there's the, I wish I had them. There are these little rollers. Do you remember when we
Yeah,
were
yes,
younger,
yes, yeah,
lip gloss rollers?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
10 milliliter roller.
Yeah.
I usually create blends or individual ones.
Okay,
Okay. And then I create the blend that I want. So when I was sick, I put lavender, I put frankincense, I put tea tree, I put like all the oils that I was thinking of, like that I can use for myself,
right.
diluted with a carrier oil, whether it's a coconut oil, almond oil, jojoba oil.
Yeah,
And then the roller is easy to use. I have it next to my bed, so I'm
yeah.
able to use it on the bottom of the feet. Bottom of the feet
Mm,
is a great place to start for people who might be sensitive to smell,
mm,
and don't want to have that under their
mm,
nose, kind of literally.
mm-hmm,
Additionally, and you can put socks over your feet, which helps as well. And additionally, internal organs are the bottom of the feet reflexology. So it's a
mm,
great way to get them to a specific location. If you're dealing with a stomach ache, you would apply the oils to your stomach and to the
mm,
bottom of the feet, on the section,
mm,
on the reflexology point where the stomach is, where the digestive system is,
mm,
and you're getting the support from both ends, and relief comes very quickly.
mm. Wow.
It's
Okay.
learning to work with your body.
Yeah. Yeah. And you remind me when you were speaking about headaches, like my daughter doesn't often get like I wouldn't even call them migraines, but kind of severe headaches along with her menstrual cycle. And she mentioned that she had this roller for peppermint, and she finds like she put it on her temples, and she did feel quite a bit of relief with that. Do you often hear about women and with their menstrual cycle, and do you have suggestions for that, like in terms
I
of headaches?
absolutely do. Yes,
Okay.
I absolutely hear it, and my daughters have the same thing.
Okay.
So there's a few things. Um, there's a lot going on, at that time of the
Mm-hmm.
month in our body. And
Mm-hmm.
again, I'm going to say they're not drinking enough.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
girls are not resting enough.
Yeah.
The first and foremost. Now, the peppermint works really well when you're catching it at the beginning. When you're
Okay.
like noticing that, okay, I'm getting a headache or
Mm-hmm.
something's uncomfortable. Once it's developed, you need something a little bit stronger, like a
Okay.
copaiba. Okay.
Okay.
Copaiba is amazing oil. It helps with pain and it's just amazing. It works with our CBD, a cannabinoid system, our brain.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which oil is that? Which one?
it's called copaiba. Comes from the copaiba tree.
Never heard of it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's amazing. I'll send you information about it. You'll love it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite oils. I take it everywhere with me.
Oh.
Um, and also the low iron. So magnesium
Yes.
helps with that. The
Yes.
magnesium helps really with that. I mean, magnesium helps us all the time, but the
Mm-hmm.
addition of magnesium. So that being said, it takes me back to the salt I mentioned to you, the Celtic salt, because our body, I mean, I could be off by a number, but it's like around 96 minerals and vitamins and made up of inside our body.
Mm-hmm.
And this Celtic salt that I mentioned has 86 minerals and vitamins.
Mm.
So it's really, really close to
Yeah.
our compounds. So
Mm-hmm.
that would be a great thing to help with that
Mm.
as well. So
Mm.
it's really, you take like a pinch, you put on your tongue, you drink the water, and hopefully you can do that every time you're drinking water. That means that every time you're doing that, your body is really absorbing the liquid it needs. You go less to the restroom. It's really helpful for people who are struggling with diabetes as well, because it helps the body absorb
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
the
First
water.
of all, you said you put the salt underneath your tongue and then you
No, on the top of your tongue. Yeah,
on the
it's
yeah.
grainy. You
Yeah.
take like a pinch of it, you put
Yeah.
it on your tongue,
Yeah.
then you drink your water. That's it.
That's it.
That's
Okay.
it.
Interesting. Yeah, you're not drinking vats of water during the day hoping to get hydrated. Like, that makes sense. Like, I mean, otherwise, yeah, you're just running to the washroom all the time and you're because you're not actually absorbing it. And then you said, okay, how does it help with because when I think of diabetes, I think of insulin resistance. So how does it help with like what oil helps with that? Or it's
So
salt.
I was referring to salt, but also there are oils that there are ways. I've helped a few people get off their, of course, with with the doctor
Yes,
on their
of course.
side and guiding them and treating them, get off their diabetes pills. And it wasn't just the oils, they changed a few things that they were eating and
Yes.
they were committed to the process, but they
Hmm.
no longer are taking pills, they're using oils.
Wow.
One oil, for example, is oregano oil. Oregano
Mm.
oil is a natural antibiotic. There's a protocol for oregano. You cannot
Mm.
continuously forever and ever. You have to know how to take it properly, okay?
Mm.
And implementation with the back, again, with the frankincense oil, which renews our cells, helps our body heal. So I'm very happy for them because, they didn't want to be on medications anymore. They were
Hmm.
suffering from side effects and they just didn't like having to be. They're like, okay, so I'm gonna get a refill for the rest of my life. These refills are never gonna end. It's always just gonna be another refill and another refill. And the thing with the diabetes is, the water, it's hard to hold on to the water. It's hard to hold on to the
Hmm.
hydration. So
Hmm.
the salt helps with that. So it's a
Hmm.
combination of changing what you're eating or what you're drinking. If you're drinking a lot of sugars, obviously,
Hmm.
um, and then implementing the swallowing of the oils in a protocol,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
then implementing the salt that helps your body hydrate, and all of a sudden you're feeling better.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Now, yeah, I know. It's like there's so many.
It's never
Well,
ending.
but I'm also like I'm picturing you like when you leave the house walking around like with a knapsack of oils, but that's not the case.
Now I have my top 10 oils, the
Okay.
top 10 oils that you can take with you, and they'll support you in like 90%, unless it's an emergency or something that out of the ordinary,
Yeah.
they're going to support you in every way that you would need, whether it's for digestion, whether it's for your immune
Mhm.
system, whether it's for light detoxing and maybe helping you like your water taste better because you don't like to drink a lot of water. I like to put a drop of lemon oil in the water and it helps. It's a light detox for the liver. So if you're getting in the habit of doing that every day, you're detoxing your liver every day, slightly. It's better than
Mhm.
nothing, right? It's a start,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
the flavor tastes really good. So then I have an oil that's good for pain, whether it's muscle pain or stomach pain, or when you get like tight shoulders or arthritis pain.
Mhm.
And then there's the frankincense, which can be used for anything. Like if you're not sure what oil to use because you're not like an oil buff or you haven't had any experience, that's the oil to use. It's the king of oils. It really helps with a lot of things. But the thing is, like, what I really enjoy is the holding their hand, holding the person's hand and guiding them through. Because I don't feel like you have to become an oil expert to enjoy all the benefits of oils. You just have to be directed to the right place with the right information that's relevant for you. So I get to know you more personally, and I get to know what you're looking to use oils for. And then once I get to know you a little bit more, I can connect you and give you guidance based on the things that you want to deal with. So you don't have to learn all that other nonsense that's not relevant to you and you're not wasting your time. You're just getting to the nitty-gritty, you're getting the results you want, and you're enjoying the oils. So the whole point is to have them and use them, not to have them on a shelf and just say, I have oils.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I'm a little bit guilty of that. Like, I mean, in the morning, I always like to, whether it's prayer, whether it's journaling, whether it's just meditating, um, I light a candle and I have about three little bottles of essential oil right there beside me. I could probably tell you what one of them are right now. So, like, I'm just saying, I'm guilty of it. Like, I mean, well, actually, two. I have lemon and I have rose absolute. I love the rose. Um, but I forget why I have the lemon there. Like I mean that's my problem. Like it's like I learned the information at one point, but I'm not consistent enough with it. But what do you like rose for? Because I
Okay.
just love it.
Rose is the highest frequency oil,
Ah.
the kingdom. So the
Mm,
rose oil is the queen. The frankincense is the king, but she's the
mm,
queen. So because it's highest frequency, it's really, I love placing it on my heart. It really connects
mm-hmm,
self-love. Geranium as well as self-love teaches you to love yourself. I've used those oils for a lot of my emotional support and healing
mm-hmm.
through different stages of healing, you know. Um, and the rose is amazing for skincare. It's amazing for anti-aging. It just,
Oh,
so the magic potion has two drops, because they
oh,
go a long
good.
way. Two drops in that whole bottle.
Jeez,
Yeah, but they
really?
go a long way. Um, the rose oil that I purchased it comes in a 5 milliliter bottle, which is a small bottle. The
Yeah.
regular bottles are usually 15 milliliters. And that little bottle, 10,000 rose petals from Bulgaria is what it takes to create just one of
Oh
those
my
bottles.
God.
And it's restricted to a specific time that you can pick the flowers. So, yeah.
Wow. A short interruption just to let you know that I am beginning a brand new course starting January 26th called Oh Please Do Tell, TEL. TEL stands for the European Lifestyle. It's going to be a really fun way of attaining a healthy mind-body connection. It's an 8-module course that's going to curb your anxiety around uncertainty, become physically and mentally stronger, and create a sense of peace and happiness in your life. I would love you to join. You can attend live or just get the replays. It's going to be fantastic. We're starting January 26th. Enjoy. And I'm guessing this is all like, what would you call it? Like, um, I can't think of the term right now, but ethically done.
Yes.
Like, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yes,
yes.
yes, yeah,
Ethically, this
yeah.
doTERRA, what I love and really help me connect with them very much. Because for me, it's really important where I'm spending my money.
Yeah.
And I no longer support companies that don't have a good interest for me and my family.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I love about them, like I mentioned earlier, they globally source their oils. And so
Mm-hmm.
what they actually do, actually it's led by Emily Wright. She's the founder of doTERRA.
I
She's
love
the
the
only
fact that she's female.
she's the only female on the board. Okay, all the rest are men. She's the leader. She actually and her team, obviously, they travel all over the world globally and they train the farmers when to pick the product, how to pick it, what material to place the product after it's picked. And then what happens is it's growing their environment because it's creating jobs. It's
Yeah.
creating funnels and they're creating growth and income. And so it's not like they don't longer have these pirates coming in, stealing their supplies.
Yeah.
And so they're giving back to humanity. They have a Healing Hands organization where they
Mm.
help, girls from all over the world, sex trafficking, all these different issues that are
Wow.
happening in the world right now. They've been supportive of those things since they opened their company.
Gee.
So
Wonderful.
it's a
Hmm.
beautiful thing. And I love that they really restrict, like they won't sell you a product just to sell your product. I remember
No.
my first year with them. I don't remember the oil that I wanted to purchase, but it said unavailable and it was unavailable for a very long time. And finally I called in the company. I'm like, what's going on? Like, I really want to purchase this. So what's going. And they said, well, the batch that we received, it wasn't to the standards at doTERRA, so we're not going to, we don't sell it. So it
Mm.
didn't come along till the following season again because it can't be extracted at any given moment that doTERRA wants to produce an oil.
Mm-hmm.
And I really appreciated that they weren't just doing things for the money. They
Right.
could have easily put it on the shelf, sell it to us, and we wouldn't know the difference. But
Yeah.
their quality control is it's outside sourced, so it's not in-house. So it's not their company that's doing the testing. They
Mm,
send it out to a third party, and
nice.
they make their oils go through seven-step testing, which most companies only do three. But three steps is not enough to pick up on all the toxins and impurities that are in an essential oil in order to
Wow.
make it to
It
be able to swallow it, to take it
yeah,
internally.
okay.
And in addition, I have to mention this because even the oils that are being sold on the market, whether they're sold for aromatic purposes, if they say on the bottle, do not swallow, I wouldn't diffuse it either because that's going into your lungs. You're smelling
Right.
that.
Yeah.
So you don't know
Yeah.
what you're inhaling. And this can be leading to a lot of issues that you might be dealing with. It's skin issues because it's a toxin and your body's reacting to it. And then you're not even associating it to these toxins. Then you go into the doctor, right? And you
Yeah.
give them all these symptoms that you're having.
Yeah.
So it's important to look at the environment too.
So would you say almost any oil like that doTERRA has can be put like on the tongue or something like that? I mean,
Most of them are
yeah.
like there are ones that you can take them. They're not recommended to take them on a regular basis. You could take them if you need them for a certain protocol,
Okay.
and some of them you do not swallow.
Okay.
So that's where the education and the
Yeah.
guidance comes in very handy, where
Yeah.
you don't have to do the research. So
Mm-hmm.
like most people, I start them with the 10 basic oils that I mentioned, that those are the ones that I have with me at all times because
Mm-hmm.
it's a really great start. And then I have a conversation with you and we go over it, and you're going to take a notebook and you're going to write notes
Mm,
down. And then I'm going to tell you what, formulas for your ailments or for your skincare or
mm,
for whatever it is. And as you're using it on yourself, you're learning about them and how they're
right.
benefiting you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the process.
Okay, I want you to review the 10 again. And because I think we kind of
Yeah.
like went off. Yeah. I don't think we got the full 10. And then the other question I'm really curious about is like, I mean, the reason I believe so much in essential oils too is just the history of it, like whether it's, what we've learned through the Egyptians or is there any continent or country that really took the ball and ran with it when it came to essential oils, or that we learned the most from? So maybe let's start with the first, the 10 to make
Okay.
sure people know,
Okay.
and then if you can tell me a little about the history of essential oils, and I find that fascinating.
Yeah, it is. So lemon, we mentioned lemon, and also in addition to putting lemon in water, you have lemon. So lemon's very uplifting. So if you're feeling down or you're feeling a little bit tired, you can just smell it and it's uplifting and it makes you feel a little bit more happy. It's a great one. So lemon, tea tree, which is an antiseptic, and it's great for toning and it's great for sinus release. Um, and many other things, of course, but
Mhm.
just giving like two samples. Then there's the frankincense. Then there's the On Guard blend that I mentioned that has the cinnamon and the orange. And then there's a blend that's called Digest for the digestive system.
Mhm.
And then there's another blend for pain. It's called Deep Blue. And then there's Breathe, which supports your respiratory system, which is what I used when I was not feeling very well recently. I also use it in my daughter's room before because I'm in New York, so we've always got things going around. So I like to have it diffusing in her room constantly without having to
Mhm.
think about it. Then there was oregano,
Oh
which
yeah.
is a natural antibiotic. And oregano is not one of those oils you use on a regular basis, but it's very good to have and important to have in the house.
Mhm.
And with that, you need a lot of guidance with oregano. I wouldn't recommend for someone to just go buy oregano or oil of oregano and just start using it. You really can hurt yourself.
That one is nasty too. I don't want to interrupt you here, but that
Yes.
like to swallow, it's boy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like capsules. You put them in a capsule, veggie cap.
Oh, okay. No, I have the
Yeah.
actual oil and
Yes, I know. It's
yeah,
deadly.
nasty.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's the lavender
Mm.
and oh my God, I can't remember.
So that's okay. How many do you have? I should have wrote them down as you.
Do you want me to chat it to you later, or do you want to add
Yeah,
it somehow?
yeah, yeah. And I can
I
add it.
can.
I'll add it to the show notes. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
perfect. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, great.
yeah, yeah. But I think you got most of them.
No,
Uh,
I'm only missing one. It'll come to me. I'm sure it'll come to
okay.
me.
Yeah, no, no, no. And so it's good to know that some of these are blends as well. Okay.
Yes, a blend of oils. Yes, where
Yeah.
you don't have to start mixing your own formulas.
Right. Can I just ask why would you carry those with you? Like I can understand if you went to a restaurant and you wanted to aid your digestion or in a movie theater and you want to just like get your zone of immunity like protection sort of thing. But otherwise, like why would you carry all those with you?
So for me, I maybe I could say it's transitioned a little bit. What the reason that I started carrying the oils with me all the time is because I was a stay-at-home mom and I was always going around with my daughters
Mm,
somewhere, and I just
mm,
like to have it just in case it's my
right.
emergency.
Yeah.
And then it's become a habit, and I also find that I share the oils with people, So as I'm pulling something out or, someone's feeling something and I have a solution for them, then I ask them if they're interested. Most of the time people are.
Hmm.
And so that,
Okay, I can see this like all of a sudden, like I had this picture in my head, like, okay, so now you're standing in the grocery line, you're and someone did a price check and there's a very angry person in front of you. So then you just sort of look in your
lavender.
purse and you go, yeah, here, you might want some of this. You're having a rough day. Let
It's
me,
mostly like in more intimate environments, if I'm like
right.
in a place or if I'm somewhere. And usually when I open up my bag, it smells already of the oils. So
Mm,
women mainly are attracted to the smell.
yeah,
Somebody will always say, "Oh my God, what is that?" Or
yeah.
something. They'll always be curious about something.
Well, you meant like now you reminded me like when you sent me my last little magic serum bottles, you gave me a perfume scent as well, and it's
Magnolia.
it's it's so what is it?
Magnolia?
Yeah, is it just
Was it
magnolia?
Magnolia? I think so.
I'm not sure if it was a blend but it was just a little spray bottle, and it's so nice. I have a feeling it's a blend. I don't know
No,
if
no,
it was
no. Yeah, I know exactly what you're referring to. Yeah, it's a blend. It's called Whisper, and
okay.
has vanilla in it. It's
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
I can create, so you can create, these that can be used for hydrating your face, for freshening up your body if you're out and about, and you don't have time
Mm-hmm.
to come home and, and take care of what you want to take care of. You can
Yeah.
spray it on your sheets to make them smell good and support
Yes.
sleep depending on the oil that you choose to put, you know.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
they come into like in the summer, I love to create larger spray bottles from plastic, mainly, PB free, obviously.
Yes.
Well, not obviously to everybody, but for me.
Right.
And then like I take them to the beach or the pool and it hydrates and
Mm.
cools you down and it's even supportive of your emotions. I can use geranium or lavender. I wouldn't use any oil because some oils are photosensitive, which is
Mhm.
not, you don't want to use a photosensitive oil and then go out in the sun.
Okay.
So there's
Yeah.
different guides, different tips, different things to
Mm-hmm.
know
Mm-hmm.
before, before using the oils.
Do you like sorry, like I mean I just things come to my head as you're speaking. Do you feel like you can okay, I have two questions. Do you feel like you can sort of reverse like the aging, the wrinkles somewhat? And then also muscles, because as I speak to you, my lower back, like somehow I slept wrong. I don't know, but there's a muscle in my lower back that's just like so painful right now. So, okay, do you feel like you can remove the crow's feet, the brow lines, blah blah blah? Not remove, but you know what? Like, I mean, what does doTERRA say about that?
So it's a combination of product that you apply to your skin.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, there's muscles in our face. So
Okay.
we can do exercise on our face
Right.
to strengthen those muscles. Because
Yeah.
what happens when the muscles get weak, we droop even more. I mean, gravity
Yeah.
is against us, so it's going down.
Yeah.
Another thing that a lot of women do is when they're applying their face product, they're not going upwards.
Mm.
They're going either like sideways or
Yeah.
down. So
Oh,
I teach my clients to go always upwards, and there's different movements you can do. And as
right.
you're doing these movements, you're relaxing your muscles.
Mm.
Okay. You can go deeper. This is a jaw technique that I show a lot of my clients, a lot of people with the TMJ, is like you
Mm-hmm.
could take your thumbs and just go around here. And once you start touching yourself, you start feeling knots. Like
Mm-hmm.
just like you have knots on your arms if you go work out,
Yes.
we have knots here. Okay. So then
Mm.
as you're starting to like touch yourself, you're like
Mm.
massaging yourself gently, okay? Again,
Mm.
you're going up. Everything
Mm-hmm.
is upwards,
That
okay?
makes so much sense.
And then when you're getting to your forehead, again, you're going upwards, and then you can work
Yeah.
a little bit on the 11, the 11 lines,
Yes.
we like to call them.
Yeah.
This is also what happens is this happens because we're tense, or we're
Yes.
thinking, or we're moving, facial movement, a lot of facial
Yeah.
movement. So if we're relaxing, we're also helping our sinuses, right? We're
Yeah.
also helping the brow bone, we're helping our headaches, and
Yeah.
we're releasing the muscles. Now
Yeah.
we have muscles on our forehead, so we can relax those. And we have a lot of muscles here, like I mentioned earlier. So even if you just touch yourself now here,
Mhm.
there's a lot of tension. So that's a great start. Okay.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you start touching different areas, a lot of tension is here, as we're talking, when the jaw is
Yeah.
closed. If someone's
Yeah.
chewing a gum chewer, they'll have more tension,
Mm-hmm.
and the tension creates the wrinkles even more.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
one thing. Then there's certain activities you can do for your face. One of them that I like to do for my neck is just like literally
Yeah.
stretching.
Yeah.
So because what happens is when this is tight, it
Mm.
tightens, it's pulling this down,
Mm.
creating
Makes
tension here.
sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and the oils that I love to use for anti-aging is the frankincense, the copaiba, geranium is amazing. Ylang ylang is great for the skin. Ylang
Mm.
ylang comes from Madagascar. It's an
Okay.
amazing,
I,
yeah,
like, yeah, sometimes like when I look at them, like I'll pick one up and I'll go, whoa, that must be really good because it's so expensive. Like frankincense being one of them. But yeah, like there's a couple others that is just like, okay,
yeah.
like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And again, it also depends on your skin condition or your skin type. If you're an oily skin, there's specific
Mm,
oils that you can add to the serum, to support the oily skin. Aging skin needs hydration. So I use a different base oil. Like you can use coconut oil, fractionated coconut
mhm.
oil, not regular coconut oil, because the regular coconut cooking oil, that
Yeah,
hardens, when it gets
yeah,
cold, it hardens.
yeah.
And then something to apply to your skin because when that hardens, it clogs your pores.
Yeah, it makes
And
sense. Yeah.
yeah, most people don't think about that. But there's a fractionated coconut oil which has the compound removed from hardening. And
Okay.
then those molecules are really small and they're really good for summertime because our skin needs less moisture in the summer than it does in the winter.
Right.
So for the winter, like for the magic serum, I use a jojoba oil base, which is
Mm-hmm.
much more nourishing and more
Mm,
hydrating, and it's like has a heavier
mm-hmm.
feel, but it's great for anti-aging. It's very supportive of anti-aging skin.
Mm.
So it's a combination of the
Yeah.
face exercises, face release, tension release,
Yeah.
the products we're using and how we're applying it because it really does make a difference. Because if you're
Okay.
continuously going to do this, it's going to
Yeah.
help your skin lift. It's just like when
Yeah.
you go for a facial and she's going up to
Yeah.
lift everything up.
Yeah. Makes makes a lot of sense. And then like just for a sore muscle, like let's say on your body.
So,
Um,
first of all, you should get a yoga ball or a tennis ball,
yes.
and like you can use. Well, I don't. I would use the deep blue and the copaiba. But you see that the thing, I love talking about oils and I love to talk to people who are into oils. And I wish you had the oils right now so you can actually take it
I
and use
know.
it. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it would do so
Yeah.
much really good. But even if you have a tennis ball in the house or
Yes.
something,
Yeah.
then just give yourself like some, lay back a little bit. I
Yeah.
do a lot of exercises also for my shoulders, to
Mm-hmm.
release the décolleté, a lot of tension. A lot of women, we're sitting like this. And
Exactly.
everything is very, very tense. This needs to be relaxed because these
Yes.
muscles are
Yeah.
also connected. It's all connected. So if you're
Yeah.
tense and you're tense here and your skin is being pulled down
Yeah.
and you're tense on your jaw,
Yeah.
it's all connected.
Oh, I know. Like when you speak like this, you realize how incredible the body is, like in terms of trying to kind of go back to some sort of homeostasis, constantly when we're beating it up like this all the time, whether it's tension on the keyboard or the worry, in the brow and yeah, but like what I like about what you're saying though is like, I mean, no one has time to go for a facial every week or even a body massage. I mean, I just went last week and I was like, I guess she just felt it in my neck and in my, like you said, my skull. She spent so much time there. And I was like, oh my God, I had no idea that like all the skin around the base of my skull was that tight. And yeah, you don't know what you don't know, but if you do, like when you talk about the face, for example, like how long would that take in the morning? I mean, I know how long putting some oil on your face takes, but like if you did a little bit of that extra massage around the eyes or the brow, like how, like let's just give the audience an
5 minutes.
idea. Five,
Five
yeah,
minutes. Even
yeah,
5 minutes is plenty. Because you're
yeah,
doing it, if it's becoming your routine every day,
yeah,
because you can do it twice a day when you're in the morning when you're washing your face and doing your routine, and
yeah,
then at night doing your routine. So that's an additional 10 minutes that you've never done anything else before. Or if you
yeah,
want to just start in the morning, you know.
yeah.
And as far as the tension in the neck, so like I mentioned, either a yoga ball
Hmm.
or a tennis ball,
Hmm.
or even the roller, those
Yep,
rollers that
yeah,
people have. You just
yeah,
put it under your neck and you just play around with your body and in
right,
your head, you move it around and you find a release, and you can do that whenever you want. A
yeah,
tennis ball, I take a yoga ball with me whenever I travel because when
yeah,
I'm traveling, all my body's off
yeah,
because I'm not sleeping in my bed. It's not my pillow, and I've been on
right,
the plane, so
yeah,
all that
yeah,
is never useful. I'm always tense on my shoulders,
yeah,
and I just need to release that.
yeah.
Um, it's incorporating into the self-care routine. It's just it becomes a
Exactly.
routine like when you brush your teeth in the morning.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay, let's talk about like the history of oils and yeah, Western, how we're so behind, I
Yeah.
guess, in the West. But
I think it's by design, but that's just my opinion.
okay.
But it goes back to the Bible, really. It goes back to
Yeah.
Cleopatra as far as, from Jordan. Frankincense was the most used oil there because they have the
Mm,
frankincense stones, and then they would do the, I'm not sure how they extract it, but I've been to Jordan and I've seen the frankincense. It's
it's
unbelievable.
a stone. What do you mean a stone?
So they have stones of frankincense.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that.
Yeah, neither did I until I went to Jordan. Yeah, but the frankincense from doTERRA comes from three different frankincense trees from the Amazons of Brazil, and it's
Mm,
only extracted like once a year at a certain time. Um, and so Cleopatra used to use it in her baths as her perfume. The Rambam, which is a Jewish rabbi, he was using it in his healing practices, and he was incorporating it into the nutrition knowledge and getting to know about the herbs and how
mm,
powerful they were. And the essential oils are a great combination with the herbs, but the essential oils are more potent than
mm.
the herbs are.
Okay.
So it goes back to centuries ago.
Yeah.
Really, and I believe we just uh, it evolved. They evolved because a lot of what happened was a lot of the oil started being used in the perfume industry when they
Mm,
started making things smell better and they started
mm-hmm.
enhancing it. So a lot of became aromatherapy, but not therapeutic.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what happened. And I mean, I feel like in the last couple of years, maybe like the last 5 to 10 years, people are more open to natural solutions
Hmm.
because, they're looking for solutions and they're not finding it in the prescription world.
Yeah.
A lot of people are not. So
Yeah. Yeah.
there's much
Yeah.
more education out there nowadays, and and the internet, obviously more access to information,
Yeah.
opened that up. And then COVID also woke up a lot of people, kind of like wanting to take control of their health, wanting to take control of their healing, wanting to take control of how they move in the world, and who they want to
Yeah.
depend on.
Yeah.
Being self-sufficient basically is
Ex
the most powerful thing.
exactly. Yeah. Holistic healing. And this is a big part of it.
Actually, what I did want to mention is when you asked me about the routine and the time that it takes. Oh, that's one of the things that I also share, because I healing communication wound. The women that aren't communicating their feelings and their thoughts have a lot of tension. They suffer from
Yeah.
tension, TMJ, migraines, headaches, because of the lack of communication. And so I have a group that's called Self-Love Mastery and Communication, and I have some videos that I share about different ways to work on your face to
Oh,
release the
nice.
tension. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So
great. That's great.
if you'd like me to invite you, Luella, to have a look, you can start implementing them as well into your
Sure.
routine.
Please. Yeah. Send me that. I
Okay.
would definitely like to look. And I did forget one thing. I started a new thing uh a couple podcasts ago, and I asked the guest to pose a question that I can ask a future guest. So I have a question for you to answer quickly, and then I have a question that I want you to ask another
Okay.
guest.
Okay. I like
Okay.
that. Okay.
Okay. So do you want to think about something right now that you might want to ask your guest, like sort of just a reflection that you might want them to have, or um yeah.
I'm I don't know. I think I need to think about it a few more minutes, if
Oh,
that's
okay.
okay. Do
Okay.
you want to pose the question? Do you
Yes.
prefer me to do the question first, or is it okay if you pose the
Oh,
question?
no, 100% I can give it
Okay.
to you first. And
Okay,
it
great.
doesn't even have to be that related. Like she okay, I'll just ask you the question, but it's
Okay.
not okay.
It's just
Her
to give me a
yes.
range of where I
Yes.
should go.
Yeah.
Okay.
She asked, "What's your favorite comfort food?" And tell us the origin of the
Oh,
story.
okay. Oh, that's
Mm-hmm.
cute. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. If I'm going to be on, okay, I have to be
Yeah,
honest.
you have to be honest.
I used to have comfort foods when I was an emotional eater.
Yeah.
So I no longer have comfort food, because now I've learned to eat for nutrition and
Mm-hmm.
not for palate enhancement, but basically not
Mm-hmm.
falling into the fact that it tastes good to me, or it used to make me feel a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
But I do love ice cream.
Same.
I love
Same.
ice cream and whipped cream. That's like my favorite thing.
Totally same here. Like, and I can't even say that there's an origin to that story. The only thing that I believe, because I think it's quite common with most people, I personally feel it has a lot to do with us as an infant and having this palatable, creamy food. I mean, we were fed. That was our first food, is pablum, right? And it's sort of like, I think it really goes back to that root feeling of being loved and connected. Like,
I agree with that. I do.
yeah, yeah. So
So I guess I'll pose a question.
yeah.
Um, so I get okay, so I'm just gonna relate it to the essential oils.
Yeah, sure.
Um, because I feel like that's a cool question to ask. Um, have you ever used essential oils? And if you haven't, would that be something of interest to you?
I like that. Yeah, I hope it's a man, the next one I
Men are into it too. They love
yeah.
it. Yeah. I actually
Okay.
even on the last note, that mentioning a man, and one of the men that I introduced to the oils, he came from more of a vanity point of view, right? About making his skin beautiful. He wanted to stop using Botox. He stopped using Botox. He started using the tightening creams, and he was using frankincense, and he was being like really good about his facial routine, and he just stopped doing Botox. I was amazed. I loved it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you about Botox, but I mean, yeah, that's a yeah, another time, I
From a
guess.
technical,
Yeah.
because I'm all into non-toxic, it's
Yeah.
something that I wouldn't consider. In addition, people need to know what the Botox does. It kills the nerves. So
Mm,
that
mm-hmm.
once that nerve is dead, that's it. There's no there's another one next to it. But
Mm.
the more you're killing them off, once you stop with the Botox, your face is gonna be in different condition than you originally started off with. And usually it's worse.
Yeah.
I'm all about aging gracefully and embracing our age and, doing the best we can for our situation because when we're going through emotional things, our skin is not going to look great. We're not sleeping good and we
Yeah.
look flushed and we look tired and everything else. And when
Yeah.
we're really being loving to ourselves, it also shows on the outside.
100%. And I don't even see it as being vanity, like these essential oils. I see it as it's a health routine that you just do. It's just it's
Yeah, because he started using it. He originally started from a vanity point of view, but then he started also getting benefits from other things where he was like, I used to suffer from anxiety. I don't suffer from anxiety anymore. Like even with the war that was happening in my country,
mm-hmm,
he's like my anxiety is like under control. I don't understand it. I'm like, well, you're using lavender in your products
mm-hmm,
on your face. I'm sure that that has something to do with
mm-hmm,
it.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
all
Yeah.
connected
Yeah. We
about it
might sign up for the vanity, but then we stay for
for the benefits of
the
how
benefit.
it feels. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thanks so much. And I will list the 10 essential oils.
Yes, I'll send that over to you.
Okay, okay, wonderful. Well, thanks so much for
Thank
giving
you,
us your
Ella.
time again, Shirley, and we'll be in touch.
For sure. Thanks again. It was a pleasure.
Okay, take care.
Bye-bye.
Thanks once again for joining me on another great episode of I Think I Can podcast. If you liked it, please subscribe below so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And until next week, treat each day like it was your last because each new day is a privilege that we shan't take for granted. Cheers and have a great week. Bye-bye.